haven't really evaluated the schools yet, but University of Chicago, Northwestern, which is not a Division III, but he's been to an ID camp there when we're in, because that's closer to Michigan.
Totally.
Bates, Johns Hopkins, but
excellent. And this is part
Emory,
of my job.
some of those places.
Excellent. That's great. And that's definitely part of my job, and what you want to major in and how we combine that obviously with the right schools. So what I want to do is I want to ask your father briefly, those steps that I talked about, is that the type of help you're looking for your son?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. And for you, this is obviously your life. We're going to be meeting with you, Mr. Luke. Is that the type of help you want?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want to do is I want to show you what it looks like to work with me kind of on a day-to-day, just so you get an idea. Is that okay? Okay. So when we're doing this process, this is kind of how it works when I'm working with the students. And we don't work with that many, so it just kind of allows me to work with as many as I can in an efficient way. So can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So here you're going to get a coach plus me. There's a reason there's two of us. One, for example, if we were to get started in the next day and a half, which is kind of what we'll have to talk about, we have a lot to do. Like, I'm not going to go crazy about your video because I want it to get sent out right away, but I need to send a bunch of emails, and I'd like to make some of them more genuine than others. You're going to have a coach who's going to talk you through each of those. Now, I monitor everything. Everything you hear from your coach comes from me first. But on the flip side, I'm going to go look up camps for your future. I'm going to start editing your video. I'm going to tell you a script you need to say at MLS Next Fest for your self-interview that I need you to do while you're there. So when you come back and we follow up, we can send them the updated highlight video plus any footage we may have from MLS Next Fest. And Dad, you may film. And this tournament is humongous for many reasons. One, there's going to be coaches there. But even if there aren't coaches there at your game when you score, that video is worth gold to us because every coach actually recognizes that level to be very good. Versus if it's a league game, they may go, well, you played against the worst MLS team in the league. Who cares? So this is a big deal. Fest is a big deal. So in saying that, you'll have two of us. I'm also dealing with the NCAA rules. Do you guys hear about the roster cuts?
No.
That's okay. That's my job. So for example, they cut all the rosters for all D1 programs as of this year. So they all went from kind of unlimited to 28. And it's a big deal because it's never happened before in the history of the NCAA. And so actually some programs will disappear because they can't fund it unless they can get kids to pay for school. And other programs will opt out and no longer have a team potentially, or others may also go, hey, we're going to buckle down and get more money because now there's unlimited scholarship. So you can raise more money. So it will impact everybody at all levels. In saying that, when, we are going to communicate via Discord. Do you know what Discord is, Luke?
Yeah.
Okay, so your father, I only have Discord because all the kids have Discord. So basically, you're going to
I've heard of it. I've never used it.
Yeah, you're going to get a channel with just me, and then we have another channel with you, as in Dad, me, your son, and their coach. So we'll have two channels just so Dad, if you're like, hey, you got a call from Amherst, I have a question, but I don't want to say it in front of my son, you can just message us and we can communicate that way too. And then I will edit all your videos. So from now on, Instagram, I'm going to make Instagram videos for you. Those will go on Twitter as well. But Instagram, that's like 15% of the process. You have to do it because you never know. Like the students that committed early, they were followed on Instagram. So it does happen. But the big one is email and YouTube for sure. And then I also want to go through the game with you. You're a good soccer player. I liked your video, but there's ways you can improve. And I want to talk to you about what that looks like and how I can help you become a better soccer player. I played kind of a similar position to yours. And there was a couple clips I wanted to briefly show you and just go, this was that moment. But there's some moments I want to share with you and go, hey, in this moment, I would have liked to have seen you play more forward. And in this moment, I'd like to see you've kept the ball. You did a good job. I mean, this is this is a minute in. There's a great pass and we'll move that up probably. But I want to zoom in. I don't need any of this dead space. You get the idea. But the point is I want to go over game footage with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And obviously I have something, we sent you that random video that we made, but I have some of the raw footage or the links to the games.
Perfect. We are going to need those. I will want full game footage, and so will the coaches. Eventually, the coaches will request for 15 minutes non-edited. So the goal is, over time, we find out what the 15 minutes is, and we'll do that together. And then we keep track of everything in a drive. I think it's good. I know you've seen this already, but I think it's good to show you one more time because this is a student who I think we're going to kind of emulate. He is a similar level to you. He's a senior. He's committed now, and this is kind of what his folder would look like. Lots of videos, full game videos. This was for IU. This was for Washington and Lee, which is a top academic D3. And then every time we meet, we basically will talk about, various things, but there's obviously lots to talk about, but the first one being, we schedule everything. So it's like a to-do list. We record every meeting. So that way your father can have a copy. And in case he's not there, which we don't expect you at every meeting, but of course there will be some. And then, in this player, he had to text Brown. Here's what he had to say, because he left his phone number. I needed him to call UCSB. I want him to have a call with Colgate. So I want this to happen to you too. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. And then the last piece is, you guys saw the email system already, which is how we keep track of everything. And then this is what it looks like to work with us. We're a lifetime deal. So we're with you from now until you graduate college. So if, goodness forbid, your coach is fired or transferred or a new NCAA rule makes everything miserable, we're with you forever. And then the goal is, if in the first 3 months you're not being genuinely recruited by a Division III school, I could say D1, but it's not really allowed. So Division III, then I refund you. If we can't do it in 3 months, my process will not work. And so this is part of the reason why I really need video. I need you to meet with me, those types of things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then scholarship doesn't always matter, meaning like, your parents were there to support you through school, but the money itself does send a message. So for example, the reason scholarship can be helpful, even if you don't need a scholarship, is because it's the way the coaches truly propose their love. So maybe they tell you, hey, you're going to be a starter, but they aren't going to help you get into the school, or they're not going to help you through academic or athletic aid. Then you can kind of question, like you said, you love me, but how come you're not supporting me? So the reason scholarship's important, even if it's academic, because let's say Chicago's really hard to get into, they could maybe help you get into the school. Or we have a student, who's pursuing MITs, they're the type to go. You still have to have the grades, the SAT score, but there's lots of kids with the SAT score. They have to pick one or the other. And that's when an athlete can often get the biasy, quote unquote, to get in. So we want that, with you. And so those students, if it's MIT or Hamilton, those schools don't really give academic or merit scholarship, given how those schools work. But all 98% of our students have received a minimum of 60 up to 250. And the goal, again, is not only so everyone likes a scholarship, but also so the coaches are communicating with us, hey, we like you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's my last question for your son. We don't work with that many students just because I can't help everyone 24/7 and make video, etc. So my question to you is, why do you think, Mr. Luke, you're a good fit to work with me?
I would say I've been seeing your videos for a while on TikTok. I would just be scrolling and I would see and I would think this seems like a type of guy that I could work with, or somebody that can help me out. Just the way you talk, the way you communicate, it renders really nicely. It was easy for me to sit and listen to this meeting. It was easy for me to grasp all the information. So I think that's something that I really enjoy.
I appreciate that. And I guess if I would ask your father the same question, why do you think your son's a good fit to work with us? What would you say?
Well, from what I know, I don't know a whole lot about your background, what you've done. I've heard from him, and I've seen your process, and it definitely seemed like you have the experience with it. I know he's a hard worker, and he's a dedicated individual. As far as you tell him, okay, we're going to meet at this time. He's very good about keeping himself organized. So, and he's a hard worker, and he loves the game of soccer, and he's a good student. I think that would that's a good combination. I would think that somebody that would be a good fit with you guys.
Yeah, well said. And I think you brought up a good point, which is you don't know me very well, and your son does, right? He's been following me for years. So we do have a little bit of a dilemma. So for me to work with students, you have the dilemma of MLS Next Fest, which is around the corner. Now you guys can send emails tomorrow. You don't need me to click send. But for us to send a lot of emails, I do have that cool tool, which would just help us get jump started. But
Sure.
Having said that, I only work with so many students. So I have to know if you're going to work with me in the next 24
we got to know if we're moving forward. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. And I have to know kind of in the next 24 hours. Otherwise, I have to give the spot to a student that does really want to work with me. But I don't want you to feel like I'm strong arming you or selling you per se.
Yes,
I want,
I like your process. Him and I have talked about it because we know that we're a little short on time. We don't want to think about it for 3 days. We're ready to move forward.
Okay.
So let's do it.
All right. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to show you this email because I want it to be clear with your next steps because of the rush that we're kind of in with the fest. So Luke,
Yes.
this is really for you, and this is really what we're going to do with you when we work together. Anyways, it's going to look just like I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to put your name here. Is when I have a screen to my left, that's why I'm looking that way. Is when you get rocking and rolling. So you'll see a contract. The contract basically says if your grades drop below a certain GPA that your parents agree on, then you're fired. If you don't get me more video within 3 months, which is not going to happen, you're fired. And if you don't show up to the meetings that you book with us over and over again, then I'll fire you. I'm not really worried about any of that. So it's to say, and if in 3 months from now you're not recruited, then you fire me. But this is what I need us to do right away. You're going to get a document. When you get the document, it's going to look like this. It'll be custom to you, but it will look a version like this. This one is, it's got a couple welcome stuff. Don't do any of this. Okay. I just need you. I'm going to write it down for you. In fact, I'll make a video for you right now and I'll send you this recording. That'll be even better. Okay. Screen. Okay, cool. Excellent. All right. So, Mr. Luke, this is what you're going to do, and this is recorded. You are going to go to this section right here so we can start talking to you. This is how we set up the Discord. Right after that, you're going to scroll down to this section. This is the email. We're going to fix this for you, but this is a version.
You're going to send us something? Show us something? I don't see anything right now.
Thank you. Thank you. See this?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to get this document, and you're going to click this button first. Okay, Mr. Luke, this is for Discord. This is so we can sign you into the channel because that's how we have to talk. My email has been leaked, so I have to get a new email. It's very annoying. And then what we're going to do is you're going to skip to this section. Now, the reason this section is really important is right here, you're going to see we need to set up what's called your pamphlet. So you're going to go to this section right here, which is showcase, which is the email. And then you're going to click here, showcase. I need you to watch this video because this video is going to show you how to make this. This is called a pamphlet. We need you to print this out and we'll customize it with you. It's just a document, but think about it like a business card. Is your dad, are you going to Fest?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so your club is going to hand out pamphlets for you, but odds are you're going to walk past somebody like Amherst. If you do, give them this document. They're not really allowed to talk to you about recruiting, but they're allowed to say hi. So you can say, and it should come from your son, but dad, you can do it too. You'll get a video here that kind of is a funny video on like how to talk to a coach, basically. But basically, just be nice. Go, hey, I know you're really busy. My son emailed you. Have a great day, and leave. And they'll be fine. They're happy to do it. And it's great if it comes from your son. So my point is, I want you to skip to that. And then your video, we're going to send it as it is because I might be able to put it together. So I'll try. But if I'm not able to put it together within the reasonable time frame, we're going to send it as it is because it's still very good. And yes, coaches will not watch the whole thing. So that'll be great. We'll use the other footage for something else. And then I need you to go to this section. This is recorded, so don't worry if you don't remember, is this one right here. And this is how we're going to get you to log on to the system. So that way we can press send to your top schools. You know, we can send via your own account to double check they for sure are the right coaches, but I've double checked already. The main thing, though, is for the other schools, like a bunch of other D1s, a bunch of other D3s that I'm going to give you a list of. I'm going to give you my own list. I'm going to put it here for you.
Okay.
I want you to send. Actually, your list is going to look just like a version of this. These are the top academic D3s, and you're going to send it to tier 1. There's 2 tiers, so don't worry about tier 2. But you are going to send it to tier 1. Got it?
Okay.
And then the D1 schools, I'll give you another list, and we will also send it to them. And it's okay if it ends up going out on Saturday. It still doesn't matter. Like, just make sure they get sent.
Okay.
Okay, I'll help you with that. And I'm going to write your email out actually right now in the document. So I'll send that to you too, so you'll know the template, because I want to mention your school that you already spoke to me about, and your coach also will do that. Sound like a plan?
Yep.
Okay, perfect, guys. I'm going to send this over, and we'll talk very soon.
Nice to talk to you.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello. So this video is for you, Mr. Luke. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here real quick. Okay. Is you are going to say this. Your email is going to look like a version of this. Now we're going to customize it. So you have to book your coach ASAP, but there's a good chance, you know, just because of how quickly we're working, that your coach may not be available before the weekend. So there's going to be a channel on Discord called Zev Zev AI, and it's a clone of me, and it's really good. It can answer any of your questions. So if you have any questions you have right away, once you get on Discord, you can have access to that. But your email is going to look like this. Dear coach, it's going to say something genuine to the school, which we will help you with. Something genuine to the school. Then after the genuine, it's going to have an ask, and this is going to be your showcase. This is in the template already, but you're going to say, may I have permission to shake your hand in person? If they say no, it's a good thing. It means that they read your email, so you will not get in trouble. Then your template. This is the part we need to work on. So my quickest thing is, my name is, I play for MLS Next. That's very important. Play for MLS. I play as a position for the class of and then you're going to say, I attend high school. This is a high academic, prestigious high school. Our students have been committed to, and then just list a couple top academic, just a couple. Like if it's Amherst or Chicago, just list a couple, like 3 to 4. List 3 to 4 schools consistently. Okay, period. Then if you want to add another accolade, you can, but only add only one other accolade. And then after that, you're going to say, I have attached my video and schedule below. You're going to put the link to your schedule, and you're going to put your schedule here, but you're going to add, I've attached my video and schedule below. You're going to add like this. You're going to go like this. Boom, boom. You're going to go, our coach has let us know when we will play, and I have added that below. So in your schedule, which you're going to put here, you're going to say, like insert in bold, put your playing time. Inside Discord, you can Discord message us. We can double check it for you. Before it goes out. Okay, now remember, the email system is 85% to 95% accurate just because the coaches are changing, and now I'm updating it, of course. But if you get some kickbacks, don't worry about them. The head coaches and the assistant coaches are almost always correct, so we will send those. And then you go to our top 15 schools, say something genuine, and send from your own account. Just to be double checking, sure, because it's MLS Next Fest, I want you to just, we'll give you that. We can help you find their emails, and we're going to send those manually from our own account just to make sure it all goes through. But then the extra schools send with the system. And every time you send it and you get a kickback, we get notified and we can fix it for the next time. Okay, that's your job, and we will talk very soon. Okay, everyone, I have another call in. I have another call in a few minutes. Okay, I have another call in a few minutes, and I'm going to do something real quick. Okay, potential. Okay. All right, I have 5 more minutes. Sorry, guys. 1 second here. Okay. Oh, that was good. I know you guys have some questions. Sorry. I have another call here in 4 minutes, and I need to send that email off. So let me do that real quick. And I need to give them that Loom video. Okay. Okay. All right. Potential move forward. Watch this. Okay. I have 3 more minutes. What steps should I be taking as a freshman playing on a MLS2 team? Make a video and go for tryouts. ID2 International Soccer Academy, good. I got invited to an ID camp from coach personally. The answer is it's not good for college soccer. Great for experience. If you're a freshman or sophomore, you can go. I would not go if you were older than that. What defensive state should I keep track of your son as a right back? What defensive stats? Honestly, stats are not really that helpful unless you're playing at a certain level, because you could be playing, say, E64 or USU soccer, and you could have 16 crosses. Coaches don't really care. So I would worry less about stats, and I would worry a lot more about video. Watching the video, the coaches can tell what's the level like and everything else. Statistics in soccer aren't really that helpful. Even if you scored 1,000 goals, 1,000 is a lot, but even if you scored 1,000, the coaches might just go, well, what's the level? If you're playing MLS Next or ECNL, then the stats can be very helpful because they know the level. So for a right back, the statistics is how many crosses do they deliver, which would be really helpful. How much ground do they cover if you have a GPS system? And their highest speed would be really great for a right back. Oh, he's ECNL. So there are your statistics. Highest speed, how many delivery of crosses. And 1v1 battles you could put, but it's pretty like loose. But crosses, how many crosses per game? And if it's more than 3, like if it's consistently 7 and above, that means he's excellent. Like coaches will go, that is excellent. If he is has a speed that's like fast speed that's higher than like 17 miles an hour or 16 miles an hour for that age, that would be exceptional. And cover ground, if he's going like 3 to 5 miles per game, that would also be exceptional. Good question. Okay. My daughter is on ECNL this year. Should we push for, or is on ECNL? Yes, you should push for sure, Kristen. I mean, I would need to know more about her video and the club you're talking about, but short answer would be yes. Okay, we have another call here in uno momento. I'm going to start.
Recording in progress.
If you guys have more questions, you can call me. Links in the bio. And that might be helpful. Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Perfect. Thanks so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. I know that we're all squeezed into one room, so I'm grateful to you all. Just before we get started, could I ask you guys who found me first?
I actually discovered you. I'm not on social media a lot, but my algorithm knows I like soccer, and I must also know I have a teenager. So yeah. I saw your video, and I don't know, your personality really kind of jumps out. So
Thank you. I appreciate that. That is
Yeah.
definitely my goal. One of the things I think I sent a message, but actually in hindsight, I'm not sure if it went through. You had mentioned that you have a video. Where does the video live right now?
Trace ID. So I couldn't like attach it to an email because it's like over 25 megs. I'm not very good with technology, so I actually put the link there.
Yeah, that's what I have. Okay, good. And I
Okay.
looked at that link. I didn't know if you had mentioned, because you had mentioned that you didn't know how to enter it, but I saw the link. I don't know if there was something else.
Yeah. So
Okay, cool.
originally I didn't do it through Instagram. On your website is where
Perfect.
I filled out everything, and it says like attach video, but I didn't see any spot where it could like.
Got it. I will
attach it.
change the language. I don't even want an attachment. I want links only.
Okay.
So that's perfect. So
Okay. So a link should have
Yeah.
gone in that box.
Yeah.
Got it.
Good. And you're good. No worries. No problem. I want
yeah.
to be able to share my screen just so I can show
Okay.
your son what I watched. Could I bother you to send it to me one more time in the Zoom chat?
Yes, I think I can.
But
do
no
that.
rush if not. I love Trace. They are complicated, which is annoying, but I do know I am very close to Trace, as a matter of fact.
I do that.
Okay.
Wait. You have to send your email and do it.
No, Zane, you can sign in my email through here, and then you can copy the link because your dad sent it to me.
This one?
Yeah. No, that's not work.
Yeah. Pounds.
And sign
Yes.
with a number.
I know. No, it's just
Okay. You put an M. C-I-M.
nice. Yeah.
Then correct the close one. 944 0198.
No problem. Thank you, everyone.
So sorry for that, Zev.
No, don't be silly. Don't be silly. It's all
Well,
part of
I
this.
know
It's
you
all
want
part
to
of
be
it.
able to look at the video before, so I apologize.
No, you're good. No worries. I looked you up on Trace because I have Trace. So you can access some people's, but I can't share my screen with it, which is just why
Okay.
I want to see the link. But I have seen parts of it already.
Okay.
Dun-dun-dun. While actually she's pulling that up, I want to actually tell you guys kind of the goal for today. Is that okay?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no rush. There's no rush. I've got, you guys are my last call, so there's no problem. The goal today is I want to talk a little bit, obviously, about your video, which what I saw, and see, if I can help you reach your goals. But also, I want you to interview me. I know, obviously, your father has seen some of my video, and you guys have seen my video, which I appreciate you watching. It's to say, I want you to interview me, because if we're going to do this, we're going to be together for a little while. And then also, I want to see if I can scare you away, because if I can scare you away, then mom and dad, we can just chill and not have to do any of this work, and our life is even easier.
Sure.
So in saying that, I want to have a couple questions for your son first. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So first, how do I pronounce? Is it Zane?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Zane, right now you are a 20. What year do you graduate high school?
2027.
Oh yeah, that's what I have. Perfect. At 3.8. Awesome. Good job. So my question to you is, right now, how many schools have you spoken to at the Division III level?
None.
Okay. And then has any Division III school talked about coming to like a game in the fall, or not so much?
No, mainly because I play EA, so
Okay.
none of them really like to come out to those.
All right, it's good you recognize it. Now, EA is definitely the level on paper to still play at a very high level of soccer, and we've helped kids definitely play Division III and Division I from Elite Academy. But it's good you recognize that there are other leagues with more exposure, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But I didn't play MLS Next in any of those, and I played at a high level. But it's good to know, because that's literally why I exist. So it's not fair to you just because of where you live that those are what's available to you. So having said that, right now, if I said to you, Mr. Zane, what do you think you need the most help with? What would you say that is?
I would say just like learning how to like contact college coaches mainly.
Okay.
And like what they're looking for, and like emails to send out to them, and like when to send them out, pretty much.
Okay, got it. And if I would ask your parents kind of the same question, I know obviously we'll talk about video, but what do you think Zane needs the most help with?
I actually kind of concur with his assessment. I don't think we've actually emailed any coaches yet. So, and I think I saw one of your videos, like they can contact him June 15th of next summer, but how would they even know if we've never even reached out to a coach? And he's not getting a lot of exposure playing EA, so it would take a lot of work on our part. And I kind of only realized that by watching your video, so that's kind of
good. My videos are working. And one thing is, and that's definitely true for Division 1 and Division 2 on paper. They break the rules sometimes, or they just make a mistake and they didn't read your email completely. But the other piece of it is Division 3 can talk to you right now, today, in any way they want. And before your call, I had another call with the junior, and they were like, we didn't know that. And they are kind of a high academic like yourself. And I was saying to them, like, you missed it. They were good enough, to merit sending out their video. And I go, you missed, 6 to 8 months where it would have been nice for us to start emailing and whatnot. Now, the good news is us having this conversation is you're 27, but also is you're a blank piece of paper for me, meaning you've not already tried to cook yourself and I have to uncook you and then cook you again. You haven't done, the video yet. You haven't sent any emails. That's actually great for me because I can kind of start you from scratch in the way I want to cook you myself. So having said that, I want to ask Zane, why do you want to play college soccer? This is a lot of work and it's a lot of work for your parents. It's a lot of work for me. Why do you want to put us through all this?
I really want to play college soccer because I want to it's made for the academics because I want to go to school for as little as I can. And I want to go to a school where I can get a good education and something that I want to do.
Awesome.
Pursue the future.
Awesome. And I love that you want to focus on school. That is amazing. Excellent. Excellent. I got your guys' video, so thank you for that. I'll share my screen in a minute. Is for your parents, I think, would we all agree that academics come first?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I think, for example, his team's going to MLS Next Festival this weekend. It would require him to miss Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. And he's not going to be joining his team because he has finals the next week, and chemistry is a difficult class, and he needs to make sure he nails that final. So he's not going to be exposed to a bunch of coaches because he's making a decision to pass, to not miss school.
I just want a 4.0. I could pass. I just want the 4.
Good for you. That's excellent. And at this age, that's brilliant. Next year, there will be consequences to that. And so that's why we need to, if you were to ask me, why is it important to start now, is my job, hopefully, is to get us in a place where if he does have finals the same time again, he goes, I've done so well in school because college soccer, the time it took has been sorted, hopefully with some of my help and tools. So you can spend more time at school. So I love that you've made the decision, and it's awesome that you've done that. And even saying to coaches, hey, I have finals. I'm not going to be able to come to MLS Next Fest, but my team was invited to it. That right there is a huge email. That's awesome because it shows to the top academics you prioritize school. You're 27, so it's fine. And your team is going to MLS Next Fest, not as that's all of that is good. All that's great. So we have to phrase that to the coaches and express that, which is also why I do these calls, because I'm formulating in my head, if we do work together, what is the first or second, third emails that go out, and I kind of write them so I figure out what to say. So having said that, the next piece of this is, from your parents' perspective, we care about academics coming first, which is excellent. Why do you want to help your son play college soccer? We could make him just quit and focus on school. Why do you want to help him play college soccer?
Well, he's passionate about soccer. He loves football. And if he can use that in a way to help him get an education for his life, then I think that's wonderful, honestly. I wouldn't want him to think, you have 2 more years to play the sport you love, and then you're going to go live your life. If you can continue that for another 4 years while planning the rest of your life, then you have our full support.
Yeah. Amazing. Mom, would you like to add anything?
No, pretty much the same because, yeah, I think we're in the same boat, both parents.
Awesome. Okay. Super helpful. And one of the things that I'm looking for when I'm working with students is, obviously, I want somebody who's very passionate, which is awesome that you are, and the way you've described it, I can feel that. What I want to do is kind of give you my diagnosis on your current situation. Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Yes.
So, and this is, I got to see some of your video and I wanted to show it to you. So my diagnosis on your situation is this. You haven't started, so obviously we're at square zero. And the analogy I kind of give you is we're on an island and you are soon to become a boat. Right now, you're just an engine. And I'm going to share my screen. I liked your video a lot. I think, first of all, you did a good job putting a video together. We do have to fix it and whatnot, which I can do.
Okay.
But the video itself, I say, hey, there's some here, which I like seeing. There was one clip I wanted to show you in particular where I'm like, hey, this is good soccer IQ. You have good movement. What position are you playing the most right now for your team?
I flip between 6 and 8 a lot. It really just depends who we're playing and what my coach needs me to do. Like
Yeah.
I can either be like facilitator, like I am in this clip that you're showing.
Mhm.
But in other games I'll play 8 because we need more like threats attacking, pretty much.
Obviously, this is phenomenal. I see you as an 8, but soccer's subjective, so it doesn't really. My opinion matters because I want to like show your best light, but also
Yeah, I would say I'm more of an 8 too.
Yeah, but your coach
But, yeah.
also gets a say, and that's fine. But my point is to tell you, when I look at this, this is an MLS next level kid, and this is why it goes back to it. There are diamonds in the rough, and college coaches know that. They're just thinking about the budget. They don't care about what the level is called. If it's called gibberish tomorrow, they'll go to watch gibberish. They just want to see where there's the most talent. They just want to win soccer games. So for today, that's where they are. It's not that political from that perspective. Playing time and which teams have what, yes, that's political. But they just want to watch the best kids. So my point is to say, it's no surprise to me you guys are your team's going. And when I look at a kid who's MLS next level playing EA, I go, we need him to go to camps. We need him to send emails. And this is kind of what it goes back to. Can I think I can help you? Is they need to be a certain level for me to think that I can help them. So I'm impressed with your video. I'm looking at a top academic D3, like if the analogy going back to your boat is you're just an engine. You don't have a boat yet. I can't put any food in your boat. I can't send you into the water. You're just empty.
Yeah.
The goal here in my process is I'm going to make you a boat. Your engine is yours, and I'm not going to really. You're a good soccer player. Yes, I would hope to go through game video with you and help you get better, but you're a good soccer player. My job is to take your boat to the islands, and with my help, I'm hoping to also take it into space and visit some other planets. And D1s, D2s is the analogy there. So in saying that, I want you to get seen. You need to be. It's time. You need to get seen by schools, which is also to add, as I'm looking at your information, it concerns me that you haven't spoken to D3s because you are the level to gain for them to garner. Like if you want to go to a top academic and have a 4.0 as you're pursuing, and you want to go to the Chicagos and the Tufts of the world and Vegas, so top schools maybe on the West Coast, Occidental, they want to talk to you because they know once the D1 schools are in your face, it's annoying for them. This is their time to shine, basically. So they, and you would warrant it, is my point. I think they like your video. And the analogy I give is if I could make 100% of D3 schools watch, I need to fix, like, you don't have an intro, it doesn't have your GPA in it, no self-interview. I can fix that stuff. But my point is, no, there's no reference at the end. It's okay though. Trace, like, they made a circle. That's great. So anyways, my point is to say the analogy, if I could show your video to 100% of D3 coaches and make them watch it, I think 80% would really want to know who you are and ask about you. Now, I can never make 100% of coaches watch your whole video.
Of course, yeah.
But my goal is I can make 60 to 80% watch your video, which means 40% like you, or 50, 60% like you, and we only need one school to ultimately, for you to like. So now if I showed it to Division Ones, I also think they would go, hey, what's your name? And then the first question the D1s would ask you is, who are you being recruited by? And if you say, I just started, to your father's point about what he mentioned earlier about June 15th, that's a problem. I do not, that we cannot have. I want you to say, no, I've already spoken to, Coach Croft here and Appleby at John Hopkins and whoever else. So that way they're like, oh yeah, of course. He's my, all these coaches know each other. They've been playing against each other, and every Division III coach wants the head coaching job. So they're sucking up to them at every showcase you see. They all know each other. So it's a very, very small world. So in saying that, what I want to do, let me pause you there and say, have I scared you a little bit off from playing college soccer with my critique?
No.
No? Okay, that's a good sign, Mom and Dad, or a bad sign, I guess, if you wanted to not have to do the work. So now what I want to do is I want to show you what I think you need to do on a with or without me. I think this is kind of what I wrote out before the call, what I think the steps are that you need to take. Can I show you that real quick?
Yeah, please do.
I think you can still. Can you see this screen here?
Yes.
Okay. So video. I got to fix your video. You don't have a self-interview. There's no intro page. Trace did a good job circling you, so that's bonus points. There's a couple clips I'm going to zoom in on that Trace just can't do. So I got to fix your video. We're also going to need more video. You're a center mid like me, so you did score a banger, which is great, but you're not going to score that every game. Your strength is dictating, and you can't. And this is the only sport, in my opinion. I don't do other sports. There's actually one basketball kid who's reached out, but I don't do other sports because I only know about soccer. But as a center mid, and I'm a center mid as well, I'm like for sure a 6, but I did play as an 8 from time to time. Is my videos were me dictating, so it'd be like I played a pass here, here, and here, but I didn't score or get an assist. And so that's how you have to show yourself. So that's where every touch videos are really important for you. Then we do want to pick some camps, and the top academic ones are going to be largely a big piece for us. And coming into junior year, we're not really going to go to that many what we call mass camps, which is where multiple schools are attending. You only get that boat from 8th until 10th grade. After that, those kind of feel money grabby, as you've heard in the past. And then your audit. So you haven't done anything. So my audit is we need to go fix everything first. And then club soccer is we talked about already. EA, this is where we're at, but we're playing MLS Next. And yes, I am the level. And here's proof. And here's show video against MLS Next kids, all that good stuff, because that's the scenario we're in. And then you have a list in mind of relatively, I'm going to create a list for you. That's going to be the top academic schools, as well as some schools that, might fit what you want to study, and you can change your mind, but I have to have an idea. So we'll talk about that. And then we have to find out who do you like. So yes, we're going to email a bunch of schools, but who likes you, who doesn't like you, etc. And then the final piece, and we kind of talked about this already. We all agreed academics come first, correct?
Of course.
However, and this is the problem, unless I can scare you away, is academics come first. If that's true, quit soccer today and we'll be done. Unfortunately, because he loves soccer so much, is the true thing that comes first is his coach. Because if he doesn't like his coach, he will be miserable. And then he won't do well in school. And then he won't get it. Then you're not happy with where you might get a job. So, of course, academics, actually come first. But when I do this process, my job is to find him a coach he loves. And my personal college coach is like my second father. My father had a heart attack when I was in college. He's fine now, but it was really hard at the time. And my college coach was who I leaned on. And I was like, I'm scared, and I have 2 younger brothers, and he played a big difference. And my significant other, I also met at college, and played a big role for me. So I want him to find a coach where he's like happy and is a good person, and they are hard to come by sometimes. So with that in mind, I'll ask your son for Zane, are these the types of steps that you're looking and you'd like through this process?
Yeah, that's like the main thing I was looking for sure.
Okay.
It's like for this,
And for your parents, is this the type of help you're looking for your son?
Yeah.
Yes.
So right now we did the NCSA thing, and it's a bit of a mess. And
it's a waste of everything.
Yeah.
Let's just call it how it is.
Yeah.
Listen, we understand what you charge, and I feel like it's a good investment. To be honest with you, the kind of things that you lay out, even in your free online videos, is incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, it is. Actually, you're talking about the camps, right? Like he signed up for Soccer Masters in December.
Cool. Great.
He did it in June, and now he's doing it again. And that was one of the ones, the 2 that you mentioned, Future 500, that I've gotten a lot, but I thought, I don't know.
You're right.
It looked really big. So I thought it was like a money grab, but actually you said it's a good one. I didn't know that at the time.
Well, actually, for him, and this is why we talk. Like when I do my Instagrams, those are for the general population. I don't know what each kid should do, and that's why I do this. So to your point, Masters would have been one I'd have him sign up for. There's a couple others that I want us to look at, and the truth is, the way we really decide camps in the nitty gritty, which I'll make a video on, is we need to see who likes us. Because yes, there's a piece of this where we go to the school because we should. But like, for example, you said you went. Was it June last summer?
Yeah.
So, and then I asked you, how many schools have you had conversations with? And you told me none. So not to say that camp was a waste, but unless you go to the camp and follow up and then you do a protocol, then the camps can be annoying. And then you feel they were a waste, and maybe they were, but otherwise maybe and even still, like if you're going to go to Masters and the schools that were there in June are going to be there again, if they are, and we can confirm it, like we need to change the email that we're going to write and mention that. That you're about to see me twice, because schools need to know, maybe I've seen you before and I didn't know, or I actually, the coaches are strange. Sometimes they go, I love the kid, I hope he emails me. And then that's it, So to that end, that's super helpful for me to know. And with that, because you mentioned the camp already, I want to show you what it looks like to work with me on a day-to-day. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
do.
Okay, cool. So when we're working together kind of on a day-to-day, the big thing is given the time frame, like obviously you have your school coming up, so we'll be mindful of that. But or your finals, but or your finals is you're gonna get a coach plus me. And the reason there's two of us, can you guys see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Because the reason there's two of us is like, did you guys hear about the new NCAA rule?
No.
Oh, that's
Okay.
okay. That's my job. So I go and I listen to webinars and I go to the conferences and I talk to I have a litigator that it's literally like the White House kind of. You have like somebody who's hoping for this rule to change and that rule to change, and I go listen in on those and figure out what might affect my students. So one of the things that did occur is they cut the rosters for all Division I programs from semi-unlimited, like there was no rule, to now 28 kids. So
Okay.
it's going to play a big role for you. It's not going to, for example, my 25, some of them are going to take a gap year. Some of them are going to quit because they're like, I don't want to wait a year to go to school. And the offer that I had has been taken away from me. And, none of us could have predicted this would happen, but that's my job to like be there because we're going to have to deal with those things. So that's my job. Also, I'm going to be editing all your video. I'm going to be writing all your emails. You will be talking though every day over Zoom with your coach. Your coach will have done this with me for a long time. And I did not go to a traditional top academic. I went to a school called Valparaiso, which was high academic and engineering. And I loved it. I had a really good experience, but I want you to speak to a coach who's like, I'm a top academic. This is what I did too. And then also we're going to communicate on Discord. Have you heard of this before?
Yeah.
Okay. For you're giggling. So the reason we chose Discord is because all the kids have it. I have no preference for it or against it, but the kids have it. Now, mom and dad, you may not have it as familiar. So we will help you make it, but we need a channel where it's just you and me, mom and dad and me. And then we'll have another channel with your son, mom and dad, and your coach. So that way, if you want to message us and go, hey, our son is getting recruited by so-and-so school, and we really like that. Can you encourage him to follow up? If we hadn't already, that's good. We want to be able to voice your opinion maybe without your son listening to you, because sometimes kids don't listen to mom and dad.
Yes.
So we just want to be able to communicate there. And it's not your problem, but my email was shown to the world at one point, and so now I have to change my email account. We want to edit all your videos. So I know you have Trace already. We're going to give you directions on like, I'm going to become a family member of your Trace account. So every time you have a game, I will actually be notified. And then if you think you played well in the game, we'll talk it over with your coach and we'll edit it. And Trace already does a version of that, so it makes my life easier, to be honest. But I have to zoom in or change the order, or I might say, hey, like, this is really good, but I want to make a clip for Instagram, and I'll do that. So I will edit all your videos. And then with your son, I want you to work with a player that played at college soccer and pursuing the next levels. And so we want to go through the game with you, and I will have watched a lot of your games. So I'm going to go through with it and tell your coach like, hey, I need him to make part of the game review is, yes, I want to make you better. But to selfishly, I know that I may tell you, hey, at your next game, I need more clips of you pinging balls in behind. Like, I appreciate that you completed a pass, but like college coaches, I don't need that for your video anymore. I don't care that it helped your team even. I need video for college coaches. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're going to keep everything on track of a drive. I think you guys saw this already, but this is kind of a student that I think we should replicate. He has graduated at this point. And his name is Ryan. His name is Ryan, and he's really, kind of reminds me of you, top academic, and was not playing in his time. It was ECNL RL, and we were aggressive, and he was a good player, center mid like yourself. And we had made video for Washington and Lee. IU requested like a specific video, and then we keep track of everything in this document. So that way, we can keep track, kind of like homework. It's not that different, but we hope it's a little bit more fun. And as you mentioned, chemistry is challenging, but here we kind of make like a summary video after every meeting that's like 4 to 5 minutes long for mom and dad. And then we'll tell you to text and we'll say what you should say. And now I'm your dating coach. I'm like, this coach is single. Go message him. This coach is going to be single soon. This coach is in a relationship, but you have to go message them anyways. And that's kind of what becomes my job. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. And then you guys already saw this. Now, you had mentioned NCSA. Are you full package with them?
Yes, that was part of what threw me off. We had a meeting with them. I didn't really know. So we jumped on kind of a meeting like you. And then at the end, he's like, here, I'll give you 10 minutes to make a decision. I was like, well, huh? It just feels like so pressurized. But at the time, I just did it.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, listen, we're middle class, we're on a budget, but we've always put money aside for our kids for their college. We certainly can't pay for the whole thing, but whatever we can help with, we can help with. If we take I feel like a small chunk of that and invest it in someone like you, it's well worth it.
Okay. Super helpful. When we're doing this process, because like you've worked with NCSA and I know how that is, we try and like, because I was burned by NCSA also. And so it's really frustrating and annoying. So this is kind of the difference between us. And what I wanted to say is if you're using NCSA and you find the human you get to talk to helpful, I'm a team here. I don't really care. As long as your kid gets recruited, happy days to me. They usually don't like me that much because I'm a little bit more individualized. So you can use me however you wish. But if you also, Zane, have a meeting with him and he tells you something helpful, just let me know so we can help you too.
Okay.
We want to just make it work. So you guys have already seen this already. I know you mentioned it, but the big thing is if in the 3 months we're working together, I want results. And if I don't, this is what's different about NCSA to me. If we're not getting results in 3 months, I'll refund it. And when I say results, I can't guarantee an offer, but I expect, especially after seeing your video, that Division III schools will be wanting to text with you, be asking for more video, maybe ask for your grades or your transcript or what classes you're taking. I want genuine interest in 3 months.
All right.
Okay, cool. And then I know you mentioned, middle class, my family's the same, and my parents put money aside, and it was a surprise to me. And this is something we want to talk about with your son. I was in the airport and I gotten picked up by the coach at the time of Valpo, and I got in the car, and I don't know at the time, like there was another recruit with us actually. And the coaches had all mentioned like he was the star recruit. So I was kind of plan B. But at the time I didn't care because I had been made an offer by Cal Poly in California and they had rescinded it. So I was like, it's either this or like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I was very happy to have interest. So I get in the car and the coach, and I'm sitting in the front seat for whatever reason. And I just was really inquisitive about the coach. I had done some research, and we'll do the same with you. And I said, I saw you have a son. How old is he? Does he like soccer? His wife was the coach of the volleyball team. So I said, like, how is it, having your wife at work? And I was 17, asking grown-up-esque questions because my parents taught me to be an adult. And he told me when I went to have my meeting with him that I earned my full ride from the moment I entered the car to the moment I got on campus, because he said, you're going to be the captain of this team. And I was, as a sophomore, the captain, because that was kind of my personality, which is why I'm talking to you guys. So it is to say, scholarship, as you mentioned, my parents had it budgeted aside, and I did eat a lot of food, so they did have to pay quite a bit still. But they, it was really, really helpful, obviously. And my middle brother played college soccer too. And the scholarship for your son, if we stay above the 3.8 area, which sounds like we will do, depending on which schools, we are looking at 98% of our students are receiving a minimum of 60 up to 250. Now, some of these schools are private, so they are more money, but then they give us more money. And as you know, because of how competitive the admissions are, we have to use soccer sometimes to get into these schools, or certainly to give us an edge. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, I know NCSA had said like in 10 minutes you have to give me a deal. So the way it works, so let me pause there actually for a second. I want to ask your son. I don't work with that many students. I've been really enjoyed talking to you and your family. Yeah. Why do you think, Mr. Zane, you're a good fit to work with me?
Why do I think I'm a good fit to work with you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like I like when things are more like, like hands-on and more personal. And I like the fact that you've like tried to cater it like to the kids. Like you've tried to work with Discord because like all kids have it. So that's like already something that I like, that you've gone out of your way to, make it easier for us. So I think that's awesome. And I think that's something that I look for in like coaches and my teachers in school. If they are going like, out of their way to make it easier, like on me as a person, a player, like, or a student, I just find it like amazing.
Amazing. When I ask that question, I usually followed up with, the kids tend to talk about themselves, which is very important. Tell me what about you is going to work hard and do the right thing. But I usually have to encourage them to talk about me. Not that in this case you're trying to impress me, but when you talk to a coach one day, they of course expect you to say, well, I think I'm great, and I think I'm going to mark the near post when you tell me to. But the coaches secretly, whether they'll tell you or not, they want to know like there's lots of coaches out there. Why me? Why do you want to play for me? So similar, I really liked your answer because it showed that, you cared about what I'm doing. So I thank you, Zane. That was very kind.
Yeah.
To your parents, why do you think your son is a good fit to work with us?
Well, for me, what I like about you is through this whole process, even if the scholarship works out or it doesn't work out, I think he's going to gain valuable life skills, just learning how to advocate for himself through technology, which I'm just not able to do at 46 years old. And also, obviously you're much older than him, but you seem to have the kind of
They're more
energy.
relatable.
Yeah. He can relate to you as a person, and not, he's gonna obviously respect you as an adult, someone trying to help him out, but he thinks you're cool as well, which helps, I think.
Yeah, no, I think because my parents bought NCSA and we talked to some, no offense, older 50 plus person, and my tempo was kind of high. I didn't, not that I was technologically savvy, but I was like, hey, I want to email these schools and I want to do it now. And he would be like, okay, well then click the send button. And I go, but is my video good enough? And did you look at it? And And when I was playing at the pro level, I had many agents and I would tell them, look, I'm going to email the team first as a human, just as a player. And I want my agent, I want you to follow up. So we're double teaming, good cop, bad cop. And every agent I ever had was like, you're not allowed to do that. I will reach out. And I go, well, you're not going to reach out as much as I am. And that drove me nuts. So with the NCAA, I can't be an agent. I can't directly connect it to schools because of the rules. Otherwise, I probably would just never sleep and try as hard as I could anyways. But so instead, I kind of empower the kids and go, here's what you need to say. Here's how you want to say it. And to your point, I'm really glad you brought up life lessons. Side note, I'm not at this stage yet, but when I do this for long enough, it's happened once, but I just haven't done it long enough. My goal is I have Zane one day graduate from the CollegeSoccerGuy Academy. He goes to college. He gets a job in an industry he loves. And then one of my new students in high school interns for him and at whatever job he's at one day as a academic person. And that would be like the full circle where I help them play college soccer and I help them get a job. And that's, and your son, I will have a couple who will be like 29, 30 when he graduates. So then there may, depending on their field, of course, then it may work out. So super helpful, everyone. I know I had mentioned this already, but you had said, NCSA said 10 minutes. So in my case, I can feel that you guys, your energy and you're looking forward to this. So here's the next step. I'm going to send you a link. The link, there's a contract. The contract, Mr. Zane, says this: if you don't show up to the meetings that you book with us over and over again, I will fire you and you will not get to work with us. If your grades drop below a 3.5 or a GPA your parents and you agree upon, then we pause until your grades get back up again. And then number 3 is if in 3 months from now you're not being genuinely recruited, then you'll fire me. Sound like a deal?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to send over the email and then you'll see the contract. The only thing I ask is I want you to talk about it as a family. I get the energy. We want to move forward, which I appreciate. But if you have any questions in the 24 hours, just email me back so I know, and then I can answer you. If you ghost me and I don't hear from you for 24 hours, then I will give the position to somebody else.
Okay, fair.
That's
and I appreciate the accountability.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem, everyone.
Listen, not all the adults in his life do that.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. And I think, obviously, Zane, you have your own accountability. It sounds like you want the 4.0, which is excellent.
Yeah.
But, and no offense to mom and dad, but when my mom and dad told me to do something, I didn't always want to do it because they told me to.
No.
So yeah, no, that's great. Mr. Zane, it was been a pleasure, everyone. It was really nice talking to you. If you have any questions, let me know.
So much.
Yes, nice to meet you.
I'll talk
Appreciate
to you
your
guys.
time.
Yes,
You're
thank you so much.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Thank
All
you.
right, bye-bye.
Okay, excellent, everyone. Give me 1 second here. 1 second, and I can talk to you guys for a little bit. Okay, so this student is an amazing family, great soccer player also. And here's what we're going to do for him. His name is Zane. And like I said, I'm really impressed. He's playing Elite Academy, but he's an MLS next level kid. I watched his video. I think it's really good. You'll get to see clips of his video soon. Great balance. He kind of reminds me of Shabasly on Liverpool. And he can score from distance. So what I want to do is with his He needs to send an interesting mass email. He actually got invited to MLS Next. Got invited to MLS Next Fest as an EA team, but he can't go because he's got finals, which I told him is this year it's fine, but next year there will be consequences to that. So what he's going to do is he's going to say the normal stuff. His template is going to say a version of, he's actually going to do this. He's going to do a version of this. His subject line is going to be MLS Next Fest invitee. Even though he didn't go, that's going to be the first sentence, the first thing. Then it's going to be the normal stuff that we normally do, Elite Academy, position, because MLS, saying the word MLS Next is that big of a deal. And in his template, he'll do the my name is, all that stuff. But then he's going to have a sentence that says, my team was invited to MLS Next Fest as an Elite Academy team. That's all he's got to say. Then he can add one accolade. He can mention one thing about school if he wants, if he's got one, and then the rest is normal. He doesn't have any showcases, so we'll use the normal template. And that will be his email. And then we got to fix his video. Now he'll have to do trace, so he'll have to do the trace directions, which is not that difficult, and get his self-interviews sorted. Otherwise, he's a student that we know how to work with. Okay, excellent job. Talk soon. Okay. All right, that's that pretty much done. And all right. Okay, so how much of a chance do overseas players have? Chance of what? Playing college soccer? It depends. Lots of things can affect that. Okay, hi everyone. I'm here. I can answer. How much more time do I have here? I need to check something. I will know you guys have some questions for me. Am I recording right now? I am. I'm also live on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. I've been ignoring you. Let me go through a couple of these. This live is fake. Hello. I got a genuine interest from a Liberty University senior. I thought I was cooked. That's the reason I'm a senior. Can you respond to me, coach? Okay. That's awesome. It's definitely not over yet. All the schools are going to take longer than before because of the new rules. How should I follow up if the coach didn't see my email after 3 days? Just say, I'm politely following up. I understand you have a busy schedule. With the new D1 rosters, is college becoming more of a dead end? No, just Division I schools are going to be more competitive. What are the best ID camps to go to? Varies per person, Mr. Aiden. Is Elite Academy good? Yes. Can you use futsal highlights in your highlight video? You can at the beginning, yes, but not over and over again. I found out yesterday, oh my goodness, I always get some crazy people. Could I go D1 playing Eastern RL? Technically, yes. We've had a student who just did, so it's possible. My son is 7th grade. We live in our small community that has zero involvement in soccer. We drive an hour away for 3 change. My question is, how important is high school soccer to college recruiting, or can you get by with just club? We're looking to consider moving. Club is all that matters, Mr. Theron Rotzlaff. So don't worry about high school at all. Should I go to D1 ID camps even though I'm not as big? Yes. What is the most, well, I need to know more about you, but what is the most effective and cost-efficient way for Canadians to play NCAA, especially Division I soccer in the USA? I'm a sophomore and I'm not good enough to justify going to ID camps. You don't have a choice. No ID camps, you will not play college soccer. Hi, my name is Drew. Pray for my, oh goodness. How do I get rid of these people? Somebody told me to shut up. That's not very nice. Okay. I'm getting some haters. That's weird. Okay, what does it depend on? Depends on your level. I need to see your video. What do you think about the age changing thing? It is not changing, so nothing to think about, and it is out of your control. Do not worry about it. Good afternoon. I really want to play for my university, and I don't know how to start. If you already are at your university, just go to the coach's office and ask for a tryout. He will probably say no, but you should go ask. Do you think 8th graders, and what would you recommend for them? Yes, of course. We work, I would say 30% of our students are 8th graders, and it varies per 8th grade. I need to see what level they are. We can only work with high-level 8th graders. How can you move from a UPSL team to the next level? Open tryouts. You got to go to open combines or go to college, to be honest. If he says no, then what else can I do? Transfer schools. That's all you can do. Sophia, Ledke, Christian, Magano, Domenico, hello. Instagram, am I missing your questions? We'll be in touch. I'm about to take off, head to NL quarterfinals in Arizona. He okayed MLS Next for last year and a half. That's awesome, Kainer. That's great. How should I know if an ID camp set by coach after I email them is worth attending? If it's genuine, then you should probably go. And if it's a school you want to go to. NorCal Soccer Girl, what's up? Definitely interested to connect with you. Definitely my son. Awesome. That would be great. Look forward to connecting. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I'm at CSUN. CSUN pretty much never do open tryouts. You're going to have to probably leave. Is there still MLS teams for 18-year-olds? Short answer is yes, but not the ones that are affiliated with pro teams. Okay, everyone. I have to actually go film some content. You want to see one of the things I've been working on? Look at this. Look at this. I got this board, and I'm going to thank you all for watching the live, by the way. Your guys' support is how I make this possible. And I'm going to tell you guys tips. So I did this video already, so I'm going to erase this. We can do one together if you want real quick. And I can record it right here with you guys all here, actually. What happened to my pen? Oh, I can't find my pen. There it is. Okay. Let's see here if I can. Okay, I'm going to see if I can write something new for you, everybody. And I'm going to make a video on it. It's going to take me too long. I need a. Okay, I'll have to do this later. I'll write it out for you guys later. And yeah, that's it for today, everyone. Thank you very much for listening. My neck is sore. Ugh. Thank you for listening. And if you have any more questions, book a call. Link is in the bio. And I will talk to you all. Oh, that's unfortunate. My mouse is not working. I will talk to you all very soon. I got to run. Bye, bye, bye.